Good evening. The weather on the far side of the Atlantic is making all the news at the moment. In fact, the hurricane season is in full swing now after a fairly quiet start. And the latest one, as you probably heard, is Hurricane George, which caused a lot of problems across the Bahamas and southern Florida. Now here we see the latest American Goes East satellite picture showing that hurricane. This is the Gulf of Mexico. You can see the coast here of the Gulf states. The hurricane centre here, the eye of the storm. Just beyond this now, this is this X here. You can just make it out. That's roughly the position of New Orleans. And it's in that direction that hurricane is moving. So a large tract of coastal land there, either side of New Orleans, under threat from some torrential rain, very severe winds, and probably widespread coastal flooding. Now, in the meantime, on this side of the Atlantic, things are much quieter, although certainly not dry today by any means. More or less cloudy, overcast over Ireland. Some of this cloud quite dense gave some fairly heavy bursts of rain, but things are beginning to dry out a bit now. The weather front responsible with the area of low pressure beginning to fill and drift eastwards, so that we'll have this ridge of high pressure coming in later on tonight and giving us a lot of dry weather tomorrow too, perhaps just a few showers. But in the meantime, the radar picture shows the history of the rain across Ireland over about the past 15 hours. During the night it moved in across from the Irish Sea into North Leinster, and today it became slow moving and fairly heavy in many central parts. At this stage though, as you can see, it's beginning to drift back eastwards, and eventually later on tonight it will move back in towards the Irish Sea. But certainly in the short term for this evening and early tonight, still some fairly heavy bursts of rain to affect Leinster, East Munster and the eastern parts of Ulster. All the time though that drifting further eastwards, and later tonight it'll more or less have moved completely out into the Irish Sea, leaving most of Ireland dry with the cloud tending to break. Lowest temperatures tonight between about 8 and 12 degrees Celsius, coolest in these clearer parts of the west. Just a light northerly breeze across the country tonight. Now for tomorrow, many areas dry, some sunshine too. A few showers though, particularly over the northern half of the country, those mostly light. Temperatures a bit on the cool side, 14 to 17. Good evening.
Call and see who's up first.